Well, g'day. This is Iron Horse here, and I thought I might make a little commentary on what's been happening. So, once again, watch the sun going down on my beautiful stationary planet Earth. So, about it for a bit. What exactly is any sort of final experiment going to prove one way or another? That's what this pterodactyl-like creature would like to know. And I think what it really boils down to during this time is that it won't prove shit. It's not going to prove we live on a spinning space ball. It's not going to prove we live on a flat Earth. Like I could come up with multiple, at least several coherent, logical propositions for why, even if we did travel to Antarctica beyond the 70th degree parallel south, that it could be possible to see a 24-hour sun, or at least 24-hour sunlight, on the stationary plane on Earth. I also think it's a great bit of evidence for those who believe we do live on a spinning space ball hurtling through the vacuum of space. Take another look. This is moving faster than the speed of sound, just on our axis alone. But the spinning space ball is also hurtling Mach 88 just to orbit that sun, but that sun is moving the equivalent of Mach 670 through the galaxy. Now they'll tell you speed is relative. They'll tell you there's no such thing as Mach speed in space because Mach is speed of sound. You know, they've got all the answers that avoid the elephant in the room, which is that we live underneath a great fin. I mean, that we are not moving. The phoenix's wings are irrelevant. I'm just speaking some shit to lighten the load a little bit. Basically, the final experiment has already succeeded. And what they've succeeded in doing is creating division. And what we don't need is division amongst ourselves. We start fighting amongst ourselves, they have won. And I've seen nothing but fighting amongst ourselves. I mean, Jaronism is Jaron Campanella. He will be who he will be. I've always been on the fence about him. I've loved the Globebusters ever since they got started. It was a huge loss to the community when we lost Bob Nodell. And Jaron was just one of them, and I think he was sort of a bit of a favourite simply because he shared the same name as Bob's son. And look, I'm making no judgment towards anybody. I sort of fell out of favour with Jaron myself back when he got into his Bitcoin, when he got into doing this and that, but it's Jaron. He can be himself. It's no skin off my back. He's a flat earther. I'm a flat earther. We're all flat earthers. Everybody's a flat earther, whether they know it or not. And I don't really care this way or that way about Jaron. I'll always try and have his back because he's amongst one of those, the group of those who, the sun is still going away. I'm going to keep talking. He was amongst those who helped share a lot of information that made the flat earth make sense to me. And so I think what it really boils down to is we're all in this together. There's a story from the Bible where one lamb strayed from the flock. But what did the shepherd do? He abandoned the entire flock to go and find the lost lamb. Now, in terms of what is logical, the logical mind says, well, I've still got this entire flock to take care of, It's more important that I take care of that, and we can suffer the losses of one little lost lamb, and the flock will barely notice a difference. But the true shepherd, what does he do? He abandons the entire flock to go after the one who is lost. And I think that's something we need to keep in mind here. It's not about the flock. It's about the little lost sheep. And I know this is getting a bit corny and stuff. Let's just see if we can zoom in and make the sun rise up again. Nope, it's still hidden behind the nearer obstacles obscuring it. And my camera knows how to focus, it just refuses to do it when I want it to. But either way, there's a good reason for that. And if we were viewing it purely across water without any of those obstacles whatsoever, they wouldn't be getting in the way, and we could zoom in on it again. So it's pretty simple. So back to the subject at hand here. You know, what we have to remember here is we are all in this together. There's no win-lose situation. There's either a win-win or a lose-lose. So we have to decide. If you're going to let any one of our little lost lambs be abandoned, we all lose. Let him wander off into the Antarctic. Let him make up his own mind. Let him get lost, if he will. That's not really our problem. Our problem is when we decide it's an us and them problem. It's not. It's an us and us problem. Every single part of Flat Earth versus Globe Earth is us and us. We all win or we all lose. That's it. So no matter what you think about one little lost lamb, Jaron is entitled to his own thoughts. You're entitled to your own thoughts. I'm entitled to my own thoughts. We're all entitled to disagree with one another as much as we want, but what we have to agree upon more than anything else is that we are all in this together. Nothing else matters. So I'm seeing, my good friend Banjo, I love you, brother, but I see that you've jumped on board and done a sort of an us versus them type of thing. Everybody's suddenly out to destroy Jaron. Jaron is finished. I think this stems from jealousy, not from you, Banjo, not at all. But some of the stuff you are promoting at the moment, you're promoting ego versus ego, rather than let Jaron go to Antarctica. Let Whitsett go with him. I don't care. In fact, I would probably go to Antarctica too. I would like to see if there truly is a 24-hour sun. I know for a fact there won't be. But if there is 24-hour light in Antarctica, as I've said, I've got some very logical reasons to be able to explain it. I'm not just going to bury my head in the sand and say anybody who goes there is a shill. That's not what the Flat Earth is all about. It's all about exploring every fact we possibly can. You cannot be biased and be scientific at the same time. You have to open your mind to every single possibility, whether it agrees with you or not. As I've always said, Eratosthenes, had he set out to prove the Earth was flat of a nearby local sun, he would have got the exact same results. And instead of measuring the circumference of the Earth, he would have measured the circumference of the sun's path around the equator, which is exactly the same. So let's not jump to any false conclusions, and most of all, let's not jump down each other's neck. Let's not attack each other and strangle each other by the jugular. Let us be gentlemen about this and encourage one another to pursue the truth as they see fit. We do not say, you were one of us, now you're one of them, you are finished. To me, that is not what this is about. And if you're on that bandwagon, then you're worse than the one you are judging. Judge not, lest you be judging yourself. I'm Iron Horse, and although I have a lot to say in this matter, I'm still standing on the sidelines, reserving judgment, because that's what wise people do. See you around, and I will be back with more of what matters. This whole final experiment bullshit is set to divide us. And if you're falling for that division, then it has been successful. Do not let it be successful. Be better than that. Rise above it. Ignore them. Let them do what they're going to do. Let them come back with the results they're going to come back with. And we'll deal with it from there. I wish all of you the best of luck on this beautiful, stationary planar Earth. God bless you all.